Hi, and welcome to another Type with Me. In this week's episode, I want to talk about Numjs, a great tool to manipulate data. So let's see what it is and why I want to talk about it. So within Python, you have NumPy, the fundamental package for scientific computing with Python. If you are a data scientist or if you already did something with data scientists in Jupyter Notebook, for example, or whatsoever, you know that it's a very interesting library, right? So I was wondering, does that also exist in JavaScript or TypeScript? NumPy uses a powerful n-dimensional arrays, right, to see and look into vectorization, indexing, and so on. It has numerical computing tools, interpretability, merging of arrays, and so on. You could do a lot of great and cool things with that. So I want to see if we can do it with Numjs. So Numjs, it's a package within NPM, right? You can very easily look into it. Numjs is built on top of ndarray and uses many, I cannot, or I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not gonna do that right here, but it's using that, right? So it's also great to see and look a little bit into that. You will see here that it has a lot of great packages as well to do complex operations on top of different arrays coming from MATLAB or NumPy, C, and then here you can see, for example, a list of things that give you a little bit of explanations around these arrays and how to go into it, how to use it, and I guess it will also give you a little bit of resemblance like with MATLAB, and then here it's how you can do it within JavaScript, right? And I'm very curious, but I think it's a very big list. And I was hoping to see also some kind of table that is doing the same for NumPy, but that's not the case. You will see that this is only for MATLAB users. Right. So how can you use it? Well, you can use it by just doing ng from Numjs, right? Dot array, and then you can provide the array there. So if we execute that, for example, you will see here that we get view one-dimensional array or data or shape, which is of length 3, right, or stride in our offset. So if we just create a multi-dimensional array, and I'm gonna do it like this, and you see that he expects really an array, so we're just gonna create a multi-dimensional array like we are used to within JavaScript. And then you see here view 2D array, so he knows that it's a 2D array, right? What the shape and the stride and the offset is, right? And also here you see that it just smashed it a little bit together, right? So another cool thing that you could do is const b equals ng zeros, and then here we can say something like this, console log And then you see here that we have a view 2D array, and this is the data that's in it. And of course, we have also the shape, stride, the offsets, and so on. So again, he creates an array of all zeros, right? Same thing can be done with ones. And you see here that we all have ones. One in the two-dimensional array. Another cool feature could be creating a multi-dimensional array that has some randomness. Right. So I'm just gonna remove this one, right? Makes it a little bit easier to show you. And here we go. We have a lot of random numbers, right? So see here, view 2D float 64. So the arrange feature is also very cool. So here we just arrange an array of 1, 2, 3 to 4. Right, so here you see it, 0, 1, 2, 3. Then if we want to start with 10, we want to go to 30, and we want to make a jump of 5, you can very easily also create an array like that. Right, 10, 15, 20, 25, and yeah, that's it. But okay, let's go back to this one. Just use 15, right? If I now want to go to that, you see here that you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If we want to reshape this, you can very easily do that with .reshape 3 and 5. So we create a multi-dimensional array of 3 to 5, right? So if you are familiar with NumPy, you know that that's the case and that you can very easily use it like that. So if you want to get the list out of it, you can very easily do this, right? It just provides you an array of an array, right? So here you can very easily have that what you want to have within JavaScript, and this is your object where you can manipulate the data with, right? Another great thing that you could do is to say console.log b.get, and I want to have from the second array the second object, and this would be 6, right? So if I do that, I will get that result. Yeah, of course, we start from 0, 1, and of course this is 2, and here also 0, 1, and 2, so we get 12. So if I want to get 6, I need to do this, right? So again, a mistake of mine, but I think a lot of you will understand why I make that mistake. It's important to understand that we start also within arrays from 0, right? You can also very easily set things. So I'm gonna set here this one, and I can do something like this: console.log b.toList, and here we go. We got a list, and you will see here that right, it's this, right? We got a list, and one, and the first item is turned into 1, right? You could also create 3D dimensional arrays, and then of course I'm gonna print it out. If you want to work with 3D models and 3D arrays, this is also a great thing to do. So another great thing that you could do is do something like this, dot add and then C, and then we can do to list, for example, and then you will see that we get the following result. Alright, so I'm gonna put all the rest into comments. I'm gonna save that. You can also subtract subtract my mistake again. Of course, then everything turns into zeros, right? You could do something like this. You could have pow other mathematical operation, right? So I'm gonna do something like this, const, and then I'm gonna say r, which is random, ng dot random well, maybe I want to have something more like this. And now you can do something like this. So console.log. What I want to do now is say r.toList to show you what the list is, and then you can do console.log r.min to get minimum value, console.log r.max, console.log r.mean, and I'm also gonna put something like this, min. Here I'm gonna put max, and here I'm gonna put mean. And of course you need to have, or could have, this std r.std, and then you got that value as well. If we're gonna execute this one, you see here that we got the minimum value, the maximum value, the mean value, right? And then the standard deviation. So if you have a lot of data and you want to have these kind of statistics out of your data, you can very easily use these operations on your multidimensional array, and you got your result back. And this is still the basics that you could do with Numjs. You could do a lot of other things like convolution or concatenation, or you could also clone, for example, very easily an array. So you could do something like this, clone, and then you clone just the array, right? Then you have here your clone. Again, I could log that and do something like this, to list, and here we go. I have my list. I just print it out. Then you see that I get the clone here as well. So again, I think if you are looking for something where you can very easily do great operations between an array or multidimensional arrays, well, then Numjs is definitely a library that you need to look into. I'm really pleased that I found this one, and for my day-to-day job, maybe I'm gonna use it as well. So thank you very much, and see you next time.